2, 3, 4, and 5 lights as we do go. Lights out and away we go here in Mexico. So West already launches into P2 as Tomsy getting overtaken by both Audi. So West in P1, Carrazzo in P2. Swinging around into turn 1, around the outside is the West on that racing line. There's a lot of moves at the back. Kingsley already up to P5. As there's already a yellow flag in Sector 1 all my days. It's David YR, I think. No, it's not. It's Mad Wolverine. He's gone all the way back to 16th. There's also moves at the front between Dixon and Sebsu. Now Tomsy overtakes Carrazzo at the front. Are they going to go on board with Tomsy really, really close coming into these centre S's? He's gaining on him. Gaining on him is Tomsy. But look at this. Coming into sector 3, he's going for the dive on Tomsy. No, he's not. This is a dangerous sector where safety cars can be easily caused if there's one little mistake. As I said that, there's a caution in sector 3 already. But there's possible race destinies in a 2-stop. But I think our drivers will be going for a 1-stop. But look at Tomsy with the slipstream. Firing on all cylinders. Trying to fling past that Audi. Look, defending brilliantly down this main straight. Who's deploying more battery? Who's going to be getting in a dive bomb from Tomsy? Is there going to be contact? There's no contact between the two drivers, but he's still going to try and keep on the rear wing. And Tomsy lost 2 position, but Suarez and Carrazzo both gaining 1 off the restart. Not restart, after the start, sorry. But Tomsy looks on the inside. Doesn't have a close enough time to Carrazzo. But he's going to be pressuring Carrazzo as much as he can. As everyone at the front is on medium compound tyres, except from it's Nathan, who's going to be trying to spread out as long as he can. As Ajax Liu has dropped all the way to P16. I have no clue why not. But Tomsy, a little bit of scaring Carrazzo, trying to give him a fright. Oh, I really thought he was going to send it during the hairpin. But we come around the final corner now. As with a race leader, Celeste, he's going to be leading the pack. Now, Tomsy, he's going to be looking for the overtake now. Are you going to be deploying battery? Are you deploying the battery? Yes, you are. He's going to be trying to get on Carrazzo's rear wing. He's going round me out. He's goes in the inside. Not the racing line. Slides the car a little bit. Shoves Carrazzo off the track. Wheel to wheel racing. He knocks Carrazzo round. He spun the car. Sebsu, look at him. Where's he come from? Sebsu and Kingsley, where have they come from? P2 and P3. Kingsley starting in P7, already up into the podium places. Sebsu in P2. I don't know where he started. I can't remember. Sebsu started 3 positions back, which means he started in P5. But Carrazzo has been spun all the way back down to P9 after a brilliant start. After his teammates to West, he's actually starting to gain a tiny bit of a gap on the drivers behind. But as I say that, Sebsu's actually charging on him. Look at him. Go on, Sebsu. Go on. 4/10 is the gap as of current. Now, what's he going to do? Is he going to go for a move into the main pit straight? He's not got much battery. But how much does West has? He has a lot more. He's basically 100%. But Sebsu only has about 6 fighting for P10. Fighting for that last point position. They're going side by side as a current. Are they going side by side into the corner? Lift and coast from Carrazzo. Doesn't look like it. Leaves all the space. Is Carrazzo. Harry Dixon can slide back into the fight. But Carrazzo does keep that P10. Move back up to our front runners here. So West is getting gained on by Sebsu. 5/10. Lucas Racing gets a 3-second penalty for track limits. 4/10 is the gap between P1 and P2. Who's going to be coming out on? No, Eddie overtakes. Sebsu has already dived into the pit, which which means Eddie Epp is in P2, Tomsey P3. But that gap is going to be quite considerable between P1 and P2 as Sebsu falls down the order right next to his teammate actually. There's a fight between Alpine and Red Bull at the front, P2 and P3 between Tomsey and Epic. Eddie Epp, who's going to be daredevil for the move. Tomsey's going to have that racing line. He's going to obviously have to give Eddie Epp the space. This is letting, by the way, it's Nathan into the fight for the current front runners. Now Tomsey, looking like Tomsey, just a slide of the rears on the exit. Which gives Eddie Epp even more time to catch up, and also brings, by the way, it's Nathan even more into the fight. The gap now 4/10. Only 4/10. The same as Kingsley, because he's on that rear wing of Nathan. So there aren't going to be any moves coming in to Sector 3. There's no moves as of current. But who's going to be daredevil? Who's going to be looking to make that move? Kingsley on the dive bomb. Oh, by the way, it's Nathan. He sends him wide a little bit, Max Verstappen-esque. But he's keeping it on track as a switch back is enabled for Kingsley. Power down, a little bit of a slide of the rears, but he's still going to be fighting. Now power down again. What's he going to be doing? He's going to go on board. Is he going to send the move? He's sending the move from what it looks like. Goes to the outside line. Goes for the move into P4. Stay in the point, but Ryan 1K picks up a 3-second penalty for multiple warnings. As Suez does dive into the pits, and so does Tomsey, and so does Kingsley. That means Eddie Epp will inherit our race lead here in GF1R. Look, Ajax Luke and Ryan 1K fighting for that P4 position as Ajax Luke comes out in front, heading into the centre S's. He's going to be swerving around, keeping the car on track as much as possible. Very easy to get track limits around here, but he's going to keep it on track, heading into Sector 3. But it's going to be fine right now, as Luke's racing is still not gaining time. But look who is! It's Ajax Luke! He's going to be sending a move into turn 1 from what it looks like on the inside line. Swerved into the curb. Now, is he going to leave as much space as possible, or he kind of backs out of the move, the Williams of Lucas Racing? Now, it depends. Is Nathan going to take that 8-second gap and box now while he has Nathan? And he's barely even come into P2 as Celeste on those new fresh hard compound tyres into P2. Sebsu moves into P3 with his Ferrari teammate now. P2 and P3 where the Ferraris are. Brilliant racing from them two. As Lucas Racing picks up another 3-second penalty, or is that his first? I don't know. It is his second, but a 3 seconds for Mel, Mad Wolverine, Y1K, and by the way, it's Nathan, and a 6 second for Lucas. Is he going to fight his teammate? He might, because he needs that track position for when he boxes. Ajax Louis has inherited first place, but Sebsu, is he going to go for the move? Is he going to go for the dive bomb? It looks like he might. He's already ahead coming into turn 1 with that brilliant pace, as he's only on 5-lap-old hard compound tyres. Brilliant racing from him. But there's a caution in Sector 2. Again, is that P positive again? Yes, it is. He's gone really slowly there. Is that ring damage plus to West? I don't think it could be. There wasn't that much contact. But Ajax Blue, when are you going to pit, my friend? Slide for Ajax Blue, which gives Suez the charge to make it in. But Ajax Blue, it looks like he's going to fight this. He's going to go for a move. Coming into turn 1, he's burning the battery as much as possible. Flies his Ferrari car into turn 1. A little bit of contact there. Wheel-to-wheel racing into turn 1. Lock up for both the cars. Now, inside line goes to the Ferrari, but racing line goes to West. As Ajax Blue is slowing down a little bit. No front wing damage, but it looks like it can be a bit effy. For some reason, B Positive's car has come out on the track, even though he has retired in the pit lane. As Karazu is fighting these back markers, try and make his way back up to the front running spots as he rightfully should be, as he rightfully was before. But Suez is going to be looking to gain time on Sebsu, as there isn't too much of a tyre difference, only 2 laps, but it depends how much tyre saving is Sebsu doing. how much is he going to be able to save those hard compound tyres to make sure they don't die off before Celeste, or don't have as much impact of dying off as what is going to be. Is he going to get a good exit out of this final corner? It looks like he is. Good battery. He's going to deploy it now. 3-second penalty on the board for him. Is there going to be a move for Celeste down this pit straight? It looks like he's buttoning as much battery as possible. Is there going to be a move? Is there going to be a move? We will see. Look at that. A move into P1 is Celeste. Back into P1 after he was before. Sebsu still fighting it as much as he can without going off track. But 2-lap older compound tyres as Tom Z is looking for a move. Is this going to be 3 wide? No, it's only 2 wide. It's a little locker for Tom Z. Sebsu still fighting for that P1 position with Celeste. There's a lot of fighting. They've actually prioritised in the pit lane. But look at Celeste still sticking out in P1 with 2 tenths. Is gaining as Sebsu still centre races is next to come. You can either lose a lot of time or gain a lot of time here. What's it going to be for our second place? It looks like Sebsu is going to lose a lot of time here. But he's going to put a bit of battery down coming into this coming into the stroke for sector 3. He's not going to send the move, but he's going to try and keep the Ferrari car as quick as possible with Tom Z. Tom Z spun! He spun, and that's major front wing damage for the Red Bull. But Sebsu, back to our front runners. Celeste, he's gained a 7 tenths gap after Sebsu probably just had a heart attack from Tom Z. Speaking of the devil though, look at Sebsu. He's going to be trying to fly past Celeste, but he's not. And Celeste actually has a brilliant battery usage there. I don't think Celeste even burned that much. Look how much percentage he has now. He has 90% to use throughout this lap. Look at this. Burning. I'm burning. Racing line goes to Sebsu. Looks like this is his favourite part of the track to overtake. But Celeste is parking the car on the apex, denying any chance of overtake in here. Manage the tyres well enough. They'll just get cooked in the fast lap. Is he going to be able to gain that time back? Is he going to keep overtake again during this lap? 5 tenths. He's gained 2 tenths back. He's actually gained a little bit more. He's gained 3 tenths. Now, final corners. Is he going to be able to keep that overtake? Yes, he is. As Kingsley dives into the box, and so does Celeste. As that means, by the way, Nathan, inherit the race lead, but he's not going to be able to keep it for long, as he's going to need to box as well, because it looks like he's got overtaken by Eddie Epp. There's a battle here into sector 3. He's shoved off the track is Eddie Epp. But shoved off the track is, by the way, it's Nathan, sorry. Eddie Epp shoves him off the track. Heading into the final corners now. Who is going to be able to gain that overtake? It's Eddie Epp. But by the way, Nathan does have to dive into the box. But Eddie Epp is going to need to dive in the box as well, drawing to the 15-lap-old hard compound tyres. But by the way, there's going to be quite behind Kingsley. Ajax Lou, is he going to drop behind him? Maybe. They're going side by side into turn 1 from what it looks like. As, by the way, Nathan's going to need to pick up speed. They're not going side by side. As Ajax Lou is picking up the slipstream. He's going for a move, it looks like. But he's backed out just at the end, because he doesn't want to ruin this beautiful race he's having now. But Celeste, my friend, used to have a chance for a race win here, as he's gone for the move quite early on Dixon. As I've got 16-lap-old hard compound tyres, but as he has fresh medium tyres, so soft racing between P2 and P3, because this is potentially for inheriting the race lead, because Eddie Epp is going to need to box. But look at that, Celeste goes to the Daredevil move, and it's a little bit of a spin for Celeste, but he doesn't go all the way around, he just slides a little bit, as there's a little bit of a touch. But Sebsu had to go wide. He slowed down a little bit so he didn't incur a warning or a penalty. But coming into this pit straight now, he's got to be angry, Celeste. He's got to try and gain his watch. Look at that battery, the blue beaming battery of the overtake mode. The only 2 drives up penalty in this race is Sebsu and Celeste. They're fighting for the race win at this point. Sebsu is in front right now. He is in front between the two drivers of Sebsu, but he's losing a bit of time here. But Sebsu doesn't have that blue battery. He doesn't have as much battery as Celeste. He's going to have that extra kilowatts of power. Is he going to be able to smack him into turn one? Is he going to be able to go for a move? It looks like he is. Inside line takes Celeste, not the racing line, but Celeste on those medium compound tyres. He is in front. 4 laps old against 7 lap old Hards. Hards are in their prime time, but this means that Sebsu will be able to bite back as Celeste after his tyres start dying off if he keeps fighting like this. As Sebsu can afford to, because his tyres will last to the end. He's charging down on him, burning all the battery. 1% remaining, 0% now. He's so desperate to get into the lead because he knows how much those 20 lap old Hards are going to slow him down. Look how much quicker he is throughout the corners. He has so much more traction. He's got to put the power down on Eddie Epp. Eddie Epp, is he going to put the power down? This is really, really ruining Celeste's battery and ruining his tyres as well. Is he thinking about the end result? Is he thinking about what could happen in the end? But this could really ruin his race if he doesn't take care of the tyres. 20 lap old tyres with Eddie Epp. Is he going to be able to house them to the end? I have no clue. Or is it going to be a puncture for him throughout the S's? This is a really dangerous place to fight, but they're still doing it anyway. Not a care in the world. Dixon overtakes at the front, but Celeste is overtaking Eddie Epp. Apologies, ladies and gentlemen, I didn't notice that. He's overtaken Eddie Epp. He already did that before. I'm actually stupid. But 2/10 is the gap between him and Sebsu. Now, if Sebsu gets an early overtake onto Eddie Epp, he's going to have 10 lap old hard compound tyres, which will be absolutely brilliant to try and chomp on Celeste. He goes to the dive bomb. Sebsu. He braked really late, which caused a lockup. He loses a tiny bit of time, but look at the switchback now. Switchback on the Alpine for Sebsu. Switchback has been completed. He's held the position. He's now, Sebsu, all he has to do is hold between 1 second of Celeste and then try and get him in the end. He currently still has overtake mode as a current, which means he's got battery. Is it going to be a dive bomb for Sebsu? No, it's not. Could it be last lap shenanigans? Could it be last corner shenanigans? Or could it be some cheeky little overtake scandals? Is it going to be a move here for Sebsu? No, it's not. It's really, really close to the gearbox. Celeste, that loses him a tiny bit of time. Oh, he went side by side for just a millisecond there. But look at that. Mel could be a factor of this race. He could hold up the drivers in front because he is a back marker. He could hold them up unless ghosting is on. If ghosting is on, then it's fine. But look at that. Sebsu gaining the time. Is he going to go for a move? No, he's not. He's lifting a lot. Look how much battery he's going to try and keep. Look at that. 80% against 80%. Well, that overtake mode is going to make him recharge more. Final corner, 100% is the marker for both of them. But remember, that overtake gives even more kilowatts. Look at Sebsu. He's going to go for a move down the pit straight, I think, or into turn one. Final lap of the Mexico Grand Prix here in Division 1. Diving into the racing line is Sebsu. He's going to hold that racing line. Is there a switchback on the cards? Not a switchback right now. Sebsu, are you going to be daring, mate? Are you heading to the next corner? He gained quite a bit of time on Celeste. We're coming onto the rear box now. Look at that. Brilliant, brilliant moves. He goes for the move around the outside. There's a little bit of contact. Squeezing is Celeste. Oh, is that track limit? That's a bit dodgy. Who's going to be able to be in front coming into the S's? Oh, a little bit of slide of the rears. That gives Sebsu the lead into the S's. 13 lap halves versus 10 lap mediums. Those mediums are going to be practically gone by now. But those hards are going to be at the end of their prime to put up a fight. But Celeste, are you going to send a move? You're going to send a move, aren't you? You cheeky little boy. No, you're not. Sector 3 is where it could all go wrong. Either one of them could spin out. There could be a bit of contact. Overtake mode could be a little bit of a factor. boost enabled for a tiny split second is for Celeste, but it looks like Sebsu wins the Mexico Grand Prix here in Division 1. Brilliant racing from the Ferrari driver and the Audi to secure a brilliant race. Kingsley lands himself into P3.